In this video, we are going to talk about best practices on how to convert online paid leads. My name is Ryan, and I help real estate agents scale their business with pipeline power plays and scaling systems. And today, we're going to specifically talk about the 10 days of pain and how to incorporate this into your real estate business so that you can convert more online leads. Now, I talk in a different video on the pros and cons of spending money on online leads. I also break down the difference between different online leads. You've got portal leads or leads that come in specifically via houses like Zillow or Realtor.com, or you've got other paid lead sources like Google PPC, or other ads that you may be running. You've got social media ads. So there's a whole entire world out there on online leads. And as a matter of fact, you can see there are many, many agents that do spend money on lead generation, some less than 50, but quite a bit more than $500 on online lead generation. And so one thing across the board, whether it's a PPC lead or a Zillow lead or another referral based lead, is that you can convert more if you initiate and implement the 10 days of pain. And so what is the 10 days of pain? Why is it important? First of all, you have to understand that we have to work 3 times as hard with online leads than we do with our sphere of influence or people that already know, like, and trust us, right? Someone that comes to us from an online lead source, they just simply click on an ad and there's no trust, there's no value, there's no brand identity. They have no clue who we are. As a matter of fact, they probably don't necessarily want to talk to us. They just want to know what the ad was about, right? And so that can be really, really difficult, one, to reach these people, but also to build trust and to build loyalty with these types of leads and with these people, right? But it is possible, specifically if you implement the 10 days of pain. And so the 10 days of pain is a nationally known concept for online paid leads. This is not something that I created. And I say that, one, to not take credit for it, but two, for you to understand that it does work and that agents and teams and brokerages across the entire world are utilizing this. And yes, it is called the 10 days of pain because it is painful for you, not necessarily the client or the customer. However, it can be painful for them too. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through an example of what it is. The 10 days of pain, what it is it's a follow-up plan, right? It is 10 days of specific follow-up to that specific lead source in an effort to have a conversation with them. And so I'm going to go to this article here to show you just one example. There's many different examples of the 10 days of pain. You can find many different examples. This one is laid out the easiest. It's brought to you by the one and only Zillow. And so what this looks like, as you can see here, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through 10, you've got call, email, text on the top. And so what they've got here is day 1, call, email, day 2, email, text, day 3, text. Now, a couple of things to note from this example of the 10 days of pain. One, they do not call, email, and text every single day. I do think it is important, or I know that it is important, to spice it up a little bit, right? You don't want to call, email, text at the same time every single day, and you don't want to call, email, and text every single day. Now, if I were you, I am more on the call heavy side of things, and so I would call a little bit more than 3 times within 10 days, but that also is completely dependent on your market. I am in a market where the average age is above 40 years old, and traditionally, that market of people like to talk on the phone more than they like to text or more than they like to email. So I call every other day in my 10 days of pain. So I place 5 phone calls, I place 7 text messages, and 7 emails. So I do call, text, and email pretty significantly on each day, but I do like to spice it up. And one day I don't do a call, or one day I don't do a text, or one day I simply just do an email, right? You can flirt with this any way that you want to. However, it is just important that we are contacting them at least once a day. This is until we get a hold of them. If you get a hold of them and you have a quality conversation with them, please don't continue the 10 days of pain. Make sure in your CRM that you've got it set up that if they respond to your automated email or automated text message, or if you change the stage because you've actually contacted them, that your 10 days of pain actually stops, right? And so you can kind of create this yourself. Also, many CRMs have their own version of this. The beauty of this is that while this seems like a lot of work, it's really not, because what we can do is we can automate email and we can automate text messages so that all we actively have to do is make sure that we are notified when they respond to said email or text, or make sure that we are just placing our phone calls when we need to. Otherwise, the system will do the work that we've set it up to do because we've automated it in order to send the emails and text messages out on its behalf. Now, while the 10 days of pain is extremely important, I'm going to talk in another video about the concept of speed to lead. You do want to make sure you have a system in place to contact this lead within 5 minutes. I'm in that video, I talk about the actual percentage likelihood of you to convert that lead at a higher level or more often when you reach out to that lead within 5 minutes, but just know it's exponentially greater, so much so that they have coined the term speed to lead when it comes to prospecting in any sales environment. So the quicker you get to this lead, the better off you're going to be. Now, outside of that initial conversation or that initial attempt, that is where the 10 days of pain come in, right? And so I want to take you through, they've got some, this specific article has different types of scripting. Now, when you do finally get in contact with this lead after you've done your 10 days of pain or in the middle of your 10 days of pain, you want to make sure you dive very quickly and intently into their current situation, their timing, their motivation, and their pain points. I mentioned, remember, these leads are not loyal. Just like they clicked on your ad, they probably clicked on someone else's, and you've got to build that trust and loyalty very, very quickly. You've got to do your best to build that trust and that loyalty in the first substantial contact that you make with that lead. And so we've got to dive very heavily into their timing, into their motivation, into their pain points, so that on that initial call, even if they are months or years out, we are able to solve their problems, solve their pain points, make sense of their timing and their motivation, and book the next appointment so that we can ultimately convert that lead. If you don't do that on that first phone call and you just schedule some simple follow-up call to then get their timing and motivation, then you are most likely going to lose that lead to the next portal buyer, right? To the next person who's paying for that lead information that has a very similar ad that you do that they're going to click on. And then the other agent is going to actually get their timing and motivation, and they're going to win that lead over you, right? We have got to make sure that while we are implementing our 10 days of pain, we've got to get really good at the scripting and hitting them immediately with questions that allow them to explain their current situation, their timing, their motivation, and their pain points around the buying or selling process that you can solve for them either on that phone call or in a future appointment, right? Now, a pro tip in this 10 days of pain is when you are creating your follow up. I mentioned we can automate this in our CRM, right? Hopefully, you have a CRM with an automation technique or a function that can send emails on your behalf without you actually clicking go, right? A lot of these CRMs, when the lead actually enters your CRM without you clicking anything, they can get emails, they can get text messages, and then you can call them, right? So, something that I want to make sure though is while we can systemize that, I do want you to be creative in your follow up. Please do not be like every other agent and use an email like this. I'm sure we can find a really good one. If there's anything I can do immediately, please let me know. Otherwise, let's meet up and come up with a plan to get the highest sales price possible. Every other agent is saying that, right? If there's any other homes you have information or you want information on, respond back to me. They're not going to respond back to that, right? A couple of examples in this follow-up can be, if you are not ready to start touring homes, I have a VIP buyer service you might really appreciate. I can send you plat maps, tax information videos, or additional photographs and sales history on any property that is for sale currently or has sold in the past. That's a little different. That's a little more hands-on. That is showing them that, hey, I can actively work for you, instead of saying, hey, if you have questions, let me know. Instead, this says, I'm going to do something for you. I just need to have contact with you. I need to know the properties that you're going to want more information on. But these are all the things I'm going to do for you when you actually respond, right? We've got to paint this picture that we are going to do something for them when they respond, not just please respond so that I can talk to you, right? Another really good example that I've used in the past is my office manager just gave me 2 free home inspection certificates that I can give out this week to buyers who would like to view homes on Saturday or Sunday with me. This is a great $300 to $400 cost savings. Are you available this weekend? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lead converter. This can go out in an email or in a text message. Again, you're just trying to get a response so that then you can hop on a call or a text message thread of quality conversation. So if you do not have your version of a 10 days of pain with at least 3 to 5 phone calls in the next 10 days, 3 to 5 emails and 5 to 7 text messages in the next 10 days, you have got to implement this in your business. If you've been wondering why you're not converting online leads, it is because you are not following up enough. So if you are spending your hard-earned money on online leads and you do not have a 10 days of pain initiated into your follow-up system, you are losing money. Those leads that are coming in are buying. They are selling. They are just buying or selling with an agent who luckily got a hold of them either before or after you could, right? Because you don't have the 10 days of pain in your follow-up system. The more you follow up with them, the more likely you are to actually convert them. And we want you to convert so that you can make as much money as possible so that you are actually profitable on your online lead gen. You do not want to spend money just to feel good when leads come in and you get to say, oh, I have a new lead. And maybe if I try and call them, then they'll answer right away. And if so, then woohoo, I did it. That is not the path to 3x, 4x, or 5xing your business. If you want to scale your business with online leads, you have got to institute a 10 days of pain process so that you can convert more leads so that you can actually be profitable with these online lead sources. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was valuable. I hope that you were able to take away a few tips and tricks around this 10 days of pain. If you want more tips and tricks on other areas of your business or on how to scale your business, check out the rest of my content. If you'd like to hop on a call where I can go over how we can actually implement this for you, the link is below to my Calendly. I would love to hop on a call and explain how we could do this for you. Talk to you soon.